Hello real-world clinicians and welcome to this quick tutorial. In this video, I want to share with you a new terminology that really hasn't been described in the past, but is really pivotal to the way we communicate about our endodontic technique moving forward. So the term that I want to coin here is a term called practice composition. So what is practice composition and why does it matter? Well, we all know that endodontic cases are not really monolithic, which means that they don't really all have this, they come in different kinds of varieties. In some cases, they're easy with straightforward shapes, and others are more difficult and have calcifications and challenging access, as well as extreme curvatures that we have to deal with. I differentiate individual canals into three shapes and different types. They're basic, advanced, or advanced squared canal anatomies, and we at Real World Endo have developed appropriate protocols and techniques to deal with each specific anatomy according to its requirements. So this is a fairly novel way of approaching the problem, as whenever a company has released an instrumentation system in the past, it has really been a universal protocol that they claim applies to all cases. Well, in my opinion, this is really a mistake because there's really no such a thing as a single universal technique or protocol that can apply to all different canal types and anatomies. Like a fishing net, you really have to choose the right net for the right catch, right? As a result, the concept of practice composition really becomes integral to the communication of what system or protocol works for any given canal and our specific needs in our practice. Practice composition refers to the kinds of cases that you will see in your clinical practice. Some general dentists limit their practice to only simple cases. Well, for those people, a basic protocol is really all that is needed. Other dentists, on the other hand, they tackle both basic and advanced cases. And of course, endodontists have to know how to manage basic, advanced, as well as the advanced square type of canals. And that's just basically the way it is. So before you choose a system or protocol, make sure that you first know what kind of practice composition you have. Furthermore, before you do a case, make sure that you have determined what type of anatomy that specific case is presenting to you. I mean, what kind of canal are you going to be dealing with? My rule of thumb is that in multi-rooted teeth, the most difficult canal sets the tone for the whole case. This means that for the most part, molars are all advanced because even though the palatal canal or the distal canal may be simple, for the most part, most of molars have difficult, mesiobuccal roots, or specifically and especially the MB2 canal, which is curved and much thinner. So most of the time, when people get into trouble, it's usually because they didn't properly treatment plan the case, and they went in a tooth and with the wrong impression, and the tooth was either above their expertise level or they applied the wrong instrumentation protocol for that case, or they use the wrong technique and they cause blocking or ledging or broke a file in the process. So understanding this basic concept of what kind of practice composition you have and what kind of canal anatomy you're dealing with will go a long way in helping you increase your success rate. Remember that you're not really forced to do all the cases that come to you. Do most of the cases that improve your success rate and efficiency, and then work closely with your endodontist to deal with those harder cases. So one thing that we all have to understand is that there is really no such thing as a universal system. And the reason why manufacturers have produce all these single protocols whenever they release a file system onto the market is really because the average user gets confused too quickly. And in order to avoid this confusion, manufacturers have really tried to dumb down these protocols and tell us that we can have our cake and eat it too at the same time. So another problem comes into effect when two different dentists with two different practice compositions communicate and then try to compare notes about whatever system they're using. One person's only doing basic cases and the other one's doing all advanced squared cases, and the one using basic cases tries to convince the other one that he's is doing all his cases with a single file, and how come, you're not doing that? This is the kind of miscommunication that occurs when people don't differentiate between the types of cases that they do. And that really is this concept of practice composition you need to understand. It's kind of like an orthodontist telling an endodontist that they have a 100% success rate during their local anesthesia technique, right? Well, here at Real World Endo, our goal is responsible education, and part of this message is basically trying to be honest with you as mature clinicians and go beyond these taglines and little marketing and get into more detail and discuss some of the intricacies that are involved in these more difficult cases. So I hope this understanding of why deciding what kind of practice composition you have and what kind of a canal you're dealing with at any given time will help you both improve your success rate as well as improve your communication with your colleagues. So this means that you have to look at your own practice composition and specific cases that you're dealing with before really applying the right protocol for that case, and not be fooled by these little quick taglines you see by different manufacturers. So only treatment planning each tooth based on these important concepts will improve your final success rate. So stay tuned as I will share specific techniques and protocols with you that will help you manage these different types of canal anatomies in the near future. For Real World Endo, I'm Ali Nasseh, and I hope you found this information helpful.